the hardest?
It's like about out there, if I'm honest, what I preferred about our town is that their conflicts were very clear and direct.
Yeah, weren't no sugarcoating.
Yeah, I prefer that. Like, I prefer we don't fuck with that side. And also, even when you're out of town and you're dealing, but there'll be times I'll be in a spot and I'll be surrounded by like 5 burgers talking about, yo, blood. And I'll be like, my hands out in the job.
Yeah.
Like, shake it, you know? Like, what, you think I'm over there dissing you lot to the man, and that's my brothers, them. Half of my whiz-ups in the closets are theirs. That's the facts, but I'm here, innit?
Bro, I saw my first WAP over there, bro.
So like,
I think I was like 13.
But wait,
That's the first time I saw a turn up.
So what it also done, it gave me a chance to also let people know that Mike's genuine, you know? So even when you're over there and you know, it's like with me, like anything, and I think it's one of the reasons why I managed to like have the relationships with certain people where people often think like, right, but Mike's a certain way, but why is he with them?
Man's not small-minded, bro.
But not even
real
realising
recognize
that,
real, you understand?
Exactly, not realising that the them you're talking about is usually the ones that you lot are trying to be like. And most of the time, all the traits they have are the same as man, it just went that way.
Facts.
That's it. Same traits, just went that way. Same traits, bro. They're still not the traits that you lot, because you lot are still mugs.
Nah,
whether you're doing a 9 to 5 or busting your gun, you're still a mug.
So with that said, yeah, that collective that you was involved with, Street Dreams, was you a part of them?
Big up Blood.
Cobra, Snake, Big Slimmers. I have a big up Slimmers.
Slimmers love
Big
you.
Dog.
Slimmers love you. Fucking Slimmers, Cobra, Cracker, Jets, the whole
Paris, big up Paris, big up
one,
Blue
Gambino.
Dog. Even Mukta, blood. Big Mooks, big up Mukta, you get me?
Come on, enough people don't know that there was a
They don't know that the man was locked in. Big up Bucky, you get me?
Like,
you got the man there, man.
All them were together from early, bro. But one thing I said, like Street Dreams, what it was with Street Dreams at the time, I'm trying to break off money here, there, and everywhere with situations. So, and for me, it was like Street Dreams were the first set of man, they were light man, that I saw that could compete at the level that it needed to be competed on. For the first set.
But friendly competitiveness.
No, when I say that, I mean like, and this again, it goes down to a lot of fronting to who done what at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can talk shit, but there was nothing like Street Dreams at the beginning. Nothing.
There wasn't.
Nobody, nothing. And the reason I say this, because we was there, number one. That's the first thing. So if you was doing what you was doing, you wasn't. Street Dreams were the first, and I must stamp this down because people seem to get this confused. Street Dreams were the first set of man from the hood that got their money from the hood and put it into this UK rap, music, whatever this thing they call now. Now there was man before them, like coming from, there was man over here from Grove and that were putting money into reggae music. That's been happening for years. Yeah.
Well, this is the first young set of men. The
man them, like man, because a lot of people seem to forget these parts that we started this. No, they did not. Street Dreams were the first set. And the reason I say that, because at the time there were no other options. How can I put it? At the time, I'm trying to like get deal money and label. There's only one way of batting. Like we're trying to get, seen by FADEC, RCA and all that. Like with the man them putting money into mute wasn't on. There's no U channel. There's no YouTube.
This is before all of that.
There's no formula to nothing. So a man putting his money into it's like throwing in the wind. So and the reason I got to iterate this, because people like to get the beginning of this thing really confused as well. Like, them man there grind. Then grind man didn't start nothing. Put it into context. Where you first met us?
We not first meet you lot in Hatton.
Hatton Gardens. The whole block ours.
The whole block, bro. The studio was lit, bro.
So my point is,
I was shocked, bro. Hatton Gardens, bro.
Them times
man only go there to buy jewelry.
Them times there. So, I've got my own office around the corner, as well as that one there. Like, this is normal at them times there. So
sorry, not to cut you, weren't no that thing where you have to creep in there and you got to blow
the
the bogey outside.
We're next to Arsenal.
What?
We had flats in there.
We're in there blowing the biggest bogeys, beer juicing and everything.
Some grime artists had little rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
And they used to never come downstairs to the lobby because we had the whole lobby. But my point is, I'm just talking shit, but my point is, like, at that time, there wasn't none of the man that could compete to the record industry levels that had to be competed on. Because there wasn't no YouTube and there wasn't no U channel.
No, you lot was independent.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
No,
it wasn't we didn't do the pirate station. So it was like, I looked at it like, right, this is the first time that the man them can go at the game. And that's what Street Dreams was. Does that make sense? And then after that, people start. But that's what street dreams were, bro. So I've got to double down on that. Cause a lot of people just don't. They'll have to skip over that part.
Yeah, no, I couldn't overlook that. That's why I had to bring that up. Cause you get
Slimmers loved you, innit? Slimmers loved you, man.
Nah, come on, big up Big Slimmers, man. Them man there, you get me? Had a lot of time for man introduce me to Michael Million and everything.
Big up Michael Million.
Give me
well.
bare airplay over this.
Big up Michael Million.
Slimmers is big homie, bro, from long time. You get me? So like, would Street Dreams ever like come back together, or have you lot thought of any compilations, or you know what I mean? Like, are the man them still locked in?
The man them are like,
I see Paris here and there.
Paris,
you get me?
Big up Paris. I support Paris.
Big up Paris. You get
funny
me?
enough, actually. Funny enough,
bro.
Yeah,
As a
Paris got the rap
collective,
league. She's doing the rap, the
battles.
The battle rap. She got the battle rap league.
Shit. Okay.
No loose chat. But we're gonna do something as well. Actually, funny enough, we're thinking of hosting some battles in the crib, in the gallery spot.
Makes sense.
So we're thinking, me and Paris thinking doing some stuff with Paris. You got obviously big up Gambino. Kuba's still around. Kuba's buying and selling properties and developments and all that, bro. You know how much times I tried to get Kuba back into something. Me never fell out over it.
Yeah.
Like, I love Kuba, but Kuba, he's building complexes right now.
Yeah, no, I've only heard everything about that set of man. Them's always been positive. You get me? Big up Blue.
Jerks, big up Cracker. Like,
come on, man.
All of them, bro.
No, 100%. So you see, like, what I was gonna say is, what made you think to yourself, you're gonna sell your CDs on the street? What made you think like that, though?
Necessity.
You could just given them away.
No, do you know what? Nah,
you could just given them away.
It's funny you said that. You know.
What made you think I'm gonna go Oxford Street, have a street team,
and
shot them? You lot were doing bits, bro. No one doing that.
That's dark and cold.
And there was a myth back in the day that you shot all 20,000 on the curb or something like that.
The myth. We done 300,000 all in all.
300,000.
When it's all said and done after 5 years, 300,000.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And that's just mine. That's
bro,
not what they was doing.
I remember I used to link you, but you used to
them,
be
yeah,
in your
them
front
times there,
room,
yeah, we're
and
random
burning.
numbers. Yeah.
You used to be burning, bro. Hella burning. You got all 5. You remember you had the 5 set of rip things to rip DVDs and CDs.
Yeah.
I said, nah, this guy he's moving like a Chinese youth, like selling DVDs. I said, this guy is something else.
No, again, do you know what it is? That was an amalgamation thing. That was Dark and Cole set it off. When Dark and Cole put together that DVD, they said to me, Mike, don't give any of these out. And Rare to 10, they said, and I said, why? They said, don't give any of them out, you're going to see the profit. So that really was like the mindset of Dark and Cole saying to me, Mike, don't give any out, sell them. So, and then I kind of realized, okay, shit, if you don't give any out. But really it was then when I saw that the manufacturing could get done in a certain fashion. So when I realized, oh, and I can burn this for that price, I can give them that, they can all make good money. Because if people don't make good money, they're not going to do something. So when I realized I've got a way of making these youths make like, you know, 100, 200 pound a day, then I said, okay, I've got some. And that's when it turned into something. And that was really where it burned. It wasn't, people get this yes, Mike GLC was a good artist, they were Mike GLC CDs. But it was the business formula I came up with that had what was really why I sold so many units. It was formula. You know, like that being an artist was cool. Being who I was just the cool part. Like, and I say this. If I'm truthful, everyone else was shook, bro. Like, that's the reality.
Yeah, no one on standing up.
Now, remember, this is you channel days. This is you channel days.
100%.
So this is days when we're famous. We're really famous on TV, and we ain't got no idea of it.
How did you even get onto you channel? That's another question I want to ask you. How did you make that transition to even get your stuff on you channel? Cause I remember I used to come home from college and them thing there, and you're on the screen.
Yeah, that was just
like daily, bro. Yeah, daily.
But them times there, we can't fucking. Again, it's what it was at the time. There's a lot of people pretending what it was.
But how did you even get your video on you channel?
No, we had man had a good relationship with them still, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good relationship with them. So when that first started busting, that's what I'm trying to say. When certain things first started happening, and things started making sense, before other people found other friends, a lot of initial work was coming to man. So even when you channels first kind of come about, we had close relationships with a lot of people.
No, 100%. I like to think that you lot was at the forefront of a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets hidden though. A lot of stuff, it's weird.
It's if you know,
yeah,
kind
no,
of
but
thing.
funny enough, it's more so now, I think, there's more, big up to my brother Spray all day.
Big up Spray.
Pete, you know, his algorithm and people on his algorithm is almost like the algorithm which is telling the truth. Yeah. And you've got the
facade algorithm.
The facade algorithm of what an industry is, which is owned by the video platforms. Like, So I think as time is starting to level out, it's changing. But a lot of the early days, a lot of things got swept under the carpet, bro. So a lot of the, you know, the early conceptions of the U channels and all those relationships, a lot of people forget a lot of the early shit, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. So the other day I'm on the internet, I see someone ranting and rave. What happened with you and Lippy? What's the fallout there?
No, just something I heard from before. I just heard him say something from before. It's just usual, innit? I think a lot of these guys just kind of, they don't really know me too well, so they just say dumb stuff, but I don't want to get into much into that. But yeah.
Big up Lippy, man. You're done now. One of Northwest own, but you get me, your big bro, so I just had to squash that early. You get me? Early. That's dead anyway. You know, like that, family. So regarding your projects and everything, what's the distribution looking like? How are we going to be able to get your project? You got a project coming up now.
Got something with Limelight coming.
Big up Limelight as well, man. He helped me with one of my projects as well. Good DJ, that, man. He's got a good heart, man.
We got Last of the Dying Breed 2 coming with Limelight on Warner. So
it's going through Warner?
Yeah, it's going through the Warner distribution. So
big up Warner distribution.
So we'll just see how it maps out, bro. Yeah, man, it's good look. See what Limelight does. Limelight's looking forward to it. Limelight, and the thing about it, me and Limelight done the first one together years ago. So Limelight's actually a guy who's like, we've actually been working together for years. To watch him kind of become what he's become as well is mad. Nah,
I rate his thing for the Asian community, not even just the Asian community.
He's a pillar stone.
He's been working with everyone.
But he's, you know, as you know, he's had more to do with like people's rise than we kind of think. But so I'm glad it's just weird how life can come back around that we can do, because Last of the Dying Breed is probably one of my first kind of mixtapes that resonated.
Yeah.
And I think now it's like to come again, to know that we're going to be able to also come again older, but probably have a much bigger audience than we did for the first time round is a weird feeling.
Yeah.
Make sense?
No, I hear you. Well, boy, we're coming up. We're going to wrap it up now. So I'm just going to come to like a last little dead question. I would even say dead question, because no one can't really ask you this question. I feel like I could ask you this question. Okay, you're my bro. Tulisa.
T's cool, man.
Yeah. Big up, sis. Big up Tulisa.
Cool.
Everything.
It was what it was.
It was what it was.
It was what it was at the time. In other words, we was doing what we was living. How we was living. We was going through what we was going through. She needed me to do her a favour. I done the favour. It got unstuck. She didn't stand up through the process, and that's kind of it. But luckily enough, the process went a certain fashion. And the way that process ended leaves me as the only person to have a guilty plea overturned mid-trial in the Crown Court. It might be different now, but at the time that was the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah.
But there's no love lost there.
I can put it, there's no love.
I remember when you was getting through it, you was emotional, bro.
No, there's no love loss in a sense of like, there's no love loss because that doesn't make sense. There's disappointment, yeah, obviously. I get that. There's obviously disappointment. But then the disappointment I have for her isn't no dissimilar to the disappointment I have for 99.9% of the people that I've ever had any brushes with in this music industry. It's just so happened that that was on a large scale. But truthfully, every 99.9% of the people that I've ever brushed shoulders with within the confines of entertainment have been full of shit. But that's why I say I don't complain though, because I might have been the biggest, but I've had the longest. And I know that you're not going to find no one else in man's bracket that still can step in the booth and sound like that and still anyone gives a fuck about. So that's the trade-off.
Nah, I feel you, my bro. Listen, Mike, it's a pleasure to have you, my bro.
Good luck with the whole thing, bro.
Come on, my bro.
Like, I'm loving that, man. It's just, that's what I'm saying. My brother come out of pen, doing what he's doing. I had to do this.
I appreciate you, my bro. You get me like this.
Best of luck. Make sure everyone else just knows that this is where it started, bro. And know that man's doing this for a reason. And know that man ain't just doing this out of nowhere. Like, man started this shit. This going around recording people, getting people's footage, putting people out there. Man just want their flowers, and it's gonna, you know, you gotta go against a whole bunch of bollocks. But
it feels like that now. But I ain't gonna give up. I ain't gonna let up. You already know the thing. You get me, family. But family, thanks for coming through. Who's the hardest? You already know what time it is now. We get into the freestyle piece.
Who's the hardest?